crafters, it's Chris from Crafts with Chris, and thank you for stopping by. If you're new here to my channel, I do offer free crafting tutorials, mostly using Stampin Up products, and I would love for you to consider subscribing to my channel. If you want to just hit that red subscribe button, and please ring that bell so you do get notifications of my current videos. So, isn't that card so cute? We're going to go ahead and make that today. For your cardstock, you will need a piece of blueberry bushel. This is cut at A2 size, so it is 8.5 by 5.5, fold at 4 1/4. You will need a piece of crumb cake. This is cut 5 1/4 by 4. You also will need a piece of Whisper White. This is cut 3 by 3. You also will need a scrap piece of blueberry bushel to do some die cutting. So out of the layering ovals, this is the second smallest layering oval that I cut the blueberry bushel out of. So you're going to need that. You're also going to need this circle here. I cut this out with the layering circles. I count from the smallest up. So I used the 4th smallest die and the 5th. So all I did was put these together in my die cutting machine. They line up, they don't overlap. Just make sure they're not overlapped when you run them through. So if you run them through like this, you'll have no problems and you'll be able to cut this circle out. So we're going to need that size circle. You will need a piece of Whisper White. This is cut 5 1/4 by 4. That's going to go on the inside of your card. For our inks today, you will need Soft Suede, Versamark, and Memento Tuxedo Black. The stamp set we're using today is We'll Walrus Be Friends. So we're going to use a couple of things out of here. So the first thing we're going to do is take our piece of Whisper White. This is the 3 by 3 piece. I have my Memento ink. I'm using the walrus with the little bird on his head. I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to stamp this not quite in the center. I'm going to leave a little room at the top, and I'm just going to stamp that down just like that. So in that set, there are 2 little fish. So I'm going to stamp each of these fish, again using the Memento ink, and I'm just going to kind of stamp them right underneath. We're going to set that aside. We'll come back to that later. You're going to bring in your Versamark ink, and you're going to bring in that stitch shape oval that you cut out. I'm just going to take my embossing buddy and just rub that on there. I'm going to bring in the Just Floating By to Say Hi. So we're going to ink that up with our Versamark ink, and I'm going to stamp this in the middle. So I've just brought in a piece of scrap paper. I'm going to take the white emboss powder, and I'm just going to sprinkle that over the top. I'll just bring in my tweezers. Then I'll give it a couple of flicks just to get all that loose powder off. And then you're going to want to go ahead and heat emboss that. Once this is all heat embossed, you can set that aside. Next, we're going to take that piece of crumb cake. We're going to run that through the pine wood planks folder. So before we run this through, I went ahead and I took some soft suede ink, and on this folder you can feel that one side is embossed up and the other side is embossed down. So what I did was I took this side that is embossed up, and I just dragged my ink pad just over it. You can do it either way, just to get the ink on there. And I just dragged it lightly. You don't want to drag it too hard because then you're going to get too much ink on there. I'm bringing in my piece of crumb cake, and I'm going to lay this in my folder. I want my planks to go up and down on the longer side of my cardstock. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay this down, and then I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. You'll get this really cool effect to where it really highlights the grain of the wood. It really brings that out. So I really like that technique, and you can do that with any of your embossing folders. Just make sure when you're using the inks, it's a water-based ink so that they come out. So to clean this, now you have all this ink here. All I do is run this in my sink. I just run the water over, it comes out clean. And then you can dry it with a paper towel, or you can let it air dry. Now with this, we're going to cut a circle out of here. I'm going to bring back in these layering circle dies. So in the beginning of the video, I told you needed a piece of blueberry bushel, and it was cut out of the 4th and 5th die cuts. So you're going to take the 4th smallest die cut, and you're going to put a circle through your piece of paper here. So I kind of brought it down a little bit above the top here. You don't want it right up to the top, about right here. And you're just going to run that through your die cutting machine. So now it's going to look like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring back in our little walrus here. We're going to do some coloring with, I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends to color this. So I'm going to leave a list of all of the materials that were used in the video, and I'll include all the colors I'm using to color in my walrus. Once you have them all colored, just make sure when he's in your little circle here, there's no white showing where it should be colored. So we're going to go ahead and glue this on the back side here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue so I have some room to move them around if I need to adjust them. So I'm just going to put some around my circle here. He'll look like that peeking out of the little window here. Once he's all glued down, I'm going to bring in my card base. I've already folded it in half, and he's going to be glued right to the front of this. So I'm just going to use my snail adhesive to glue him down. So I'm going to take my Whisper White and glue that to the inside. Now we're going to take that ring that we cut out, that circle. You're just going to use your liquid monoglue. And you're just going to apply that to the front, right around your little walrus here. So now it looks like a little window in a door. Isn't that cute? I actually found this idea on Pinterest from somebody else, and I just thought it was so cute. So I put my own twist to it. So now what you're going to do is bring in your Just Floating By to Say Hi. I've got some Stampin' Up Dimensionals on the back, and I'm just going to place that right underneath my little walrus. So to finish this guy off, I'm bringing in the Noble Peacock Rhinestones. Taking the smaller of the blueberry bushel, and I'm going to go ahead and put these all around the window. I found that if I put them on top to bottom and then side to side, it helped me make them a little bit more even. So I can put one in the middle here. I thought this was just a cute card to send out to a whole bunch of people during this time and let them know you're thinking of them. And I know a lot of people are kind of, you know, they don't really want to send anything out because they don't want to lick the envelopes. But if you take your aqua painter and you use this to seal your envelopes, moisten the envelopes, then you don't have to worry about that. And then what I do is on the back of my card, I just write SWAP, and then I put underneath it sealed with aqua painter, so people know that it wasn't sealed, you know, you didn't lick the envelope. So that's a little clever trick to do. Plus I don't like licking the envelopes, I don't like the taste of the glue, so that helps out a lot. Or you can take a sponge if you don't have an aqua painter. But I just wanted to share this cute little card, so I'm going to leave all of the information in the video as to what was used in making this card. Hope you guys enjoyed today's little card project, and I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I also would love to hear from you guys in the comments, and don't forget to share this video with your family and friends so they can make this too. Please subscribe below, and don't forget to ring that bell. I also offer a newsletter that I would love for you to sign up for. You will get 30 free card ideas just for signing up. Thanks for watching.